Hi, this is Alexander. I'm here with Daniel. Daniel is a member of the Business Mentor Insiders. And why do I have you here, Daniel? What's the good news that we've had lately?
Yeah, I just had a big sale for 12K for a web app, and I'm just roughly 6 months on the group. So that was pretty awesome for me, coming from a very, very low wage background. And yeah, I'm very grateful for being part of the group.
So you've had several good months behind you in terms of business, and now you kind of capped it off with a $12,000 sale. Is that correct? Is that what
Yeah,
you're saying?
yeah. Ever since March, after 2 months in the group, I had my first sale. It was actually a good sale too. It was a 10K sale for two web apps. Not as good as this one though. And then after that, I had two more around the same value. And now I have this big sale. So it's been like very, very good 3 or 4 months.
And what were you doing before that in life?
I was very scattered. I'm actually an engineer. I worked as a software developer 5 years ago. Then I got bored. Then I went traveling the world for 2 or 3 years. I did customer services. I sell tickets for both parties. Yeah, I just didn't know exactly what I wanted. But then I started doing freelancing as well, doing like WordPress sites and social media. But I felt it was not what I really wanted. I wanted to be more engaged. So I got a bit more technical. I got into programming boot camp, so I can do like more advanced applications, so I can earn more. And then I went to work in a company, actually one of the best companies here in my country for web applications. But then again,
Yeah,
nine to
you're from
five is not meant
Portugal.
for me.
In case people don't know, you're from Portugal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm from Portugal. Yeah, in the north, in the second city, Porto. And yeah, recently I was in this big company, but then again, it was a 9 to 5 job, and I got bored easily, and I want to have my own thing. So after 1 year working on this company, I got better skills as a developer, but I really wanted to start my own thing. So yeah, so I joined BMI around January this year, and since then I haven't been looking back.
How have your months been so far financially? So, I mean, you closed one sale that's $12,000, but what else have you been doing?
In the first 2 months, I was just learning, trying to implement, because I was also working. I just left my job 1 month ago. So I was juggling both things. It was not the easiest thing. So in the first 2 months, I didn't have results. I was just learning and studying. And then I had my first results after 2 months. And then it was a big deal because it was two applications and I had to do a lot of delivery for that. And I also have my job. So it wasn't easy. After I delivered those two applications, I just said, okay, I'm gonna focus on business only. So I left my job. And after I left my job, I had already three more sales. And this one being the biggest of them, 12K for a web app. That's just awesome for me.
So you quit your job. When exactly did you say? Now 2 months ago, right?
Yeah, 1 month and a half ago.
1 month ago.
Yeah,
Okay.
end of May.
I think you weren't the only one. You have some friends as well in the mastermind who had the same thing happen recently. I forgot the name. I think maybe Tiago, was it?
Yeah, Tiago Macedo. Also, he was working and then he left the job and is now focusing on business 100%.
You guys from Portugal are crushing it. Should get more members from Portugal. This is really good.
Yeah, we are
So,
very close. So it's like a little mastermind we have here.
and what are some things that you've learned in the mastermind? So you said you were studying in the first 2 months, right? Like, but you're also implementing. But what have you learned that has allowed you to go from having a job making like 1,000 or 2,000, whatever amount of money they pay in Portugal? What made you go from that to getting the results you're getting now? What skills have you learned?
Because I was not having the business mindset in my mind. I was just being like or an employer or a freelancer, which is like you hear what people say and then you implement, and you just don't have a strong frame and you don't know how to ask what you want. So in the business mastermind, what they really try to teach us is to have this business mentality, which is also sales. They teach you a lot of frames, marketing frames as well, marketing tips, how to value yourself more and to be able to ask more for your services. And that was my change. Instead of like being told what to do and just being put in a box, so you are value this and you do this. No, I'm the one saying what I want and saying how much I charge. So that has been a big change. And mindset, definitely, it's the biggest thing in the mastermind. And seeing other people having results every day, like it gets you pumped up, like, and you have to
I
keep
hope
it up.
you've learned the sales process and you've been trained in sales as well, right? Because mindset.
Yeah, no, like I said, like mindset, it's a big thing because it's like the foundation. But then you have to implement, and BMI gives you the tools to be in the interview and be able to charge this kind of money. Yeah? And the sales process they teach, all the accountability coaches, and also technical details about sales and also delivery. I learned in BMI too.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, you're one of the regulars on the developer call. So you're talking to the guys doing 10, 20, 30,000 hours per month on a regular basis, right? So that may have helped a little bit as well.
Yeah. Those guys, they teach sales. They implement the sales as the BMI process, the general BMI process, but they are more specific for development, the development market. And there's some details and some tools that we use that are specific for us. And without them, it still would be good because BMI is like they give you a very general structure for sales and to have clients. But especially because there's the developer call and the developer group that is specific for me, and give me like specific things to learn from. I think that's even more valuable, yeah, for a developer like me.
Okay, and what are the future plans? Are you planning to hire a team, or do you already have a team? How are you planning to build this into a real business?
So my next step is to have a team. Actually, that's my biggest step I need to do, because right now I had people working for me, but I wasn't satisfied, and they charged me a lot, and I ended up having to do myself most of the things, and it just takes me away from the lead generation, from the calls, and to get more clients. So what I need is like have a team, maybe teach people how to do things my way, so the delivery is perfect and awesome, and then I will have more time to be the business manager of my clients. So that's going to be the biggest change for me. When that happens, I think with all the sales tools and the sales skills I have, I think I'll be able to replicate this sale like maybe 2 or 3 times a month for sure. I'm very confident I will be.
Who would you recommend does this? Who would you recommend joins a mastermind like Business Mentor Insiders and implements a business model like this? Who should be doing this?
I think everyone that is unhappy with their current state in their companies, in their jobs, even if they are freelancing and getting paid very little, they have to step up. They have to realize they are much more valuable than people say, and they have to take ownership of their own lives and try to get better every day. If you are unhappy with the situation, just change. It doesn't matter what you are. I mean, my country is not the biggest, is not the most rich country, but like there's no excuses. Even if I was in Africa or in Asia, like there's always a way you can get around it. So just don't make excuses and find ways to learn and get mentored by people that are better than you at that point, right?
Okay, makes sense to me. Awesome. Well, Daniel, see you in the mastermind. Thank you for jumping on real quick here to do this mini interview. We do a lot of these because we have a lot of success stories, but I really like this one. It's a good one, fast results, and I like your latest sale. So see you in the mastermind, and everyone watching this, subscribe, message me, do all that kind of stuff. All right, see you. Bye.
Thank you, Alex. See you there.